All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got a funny story coming out about Dragon Age the Veilguard apparently hating white people. Now, this entire story has started from a recent post that Endymion has made on his Twitter page, where essentially he's talked about platinuming Dragon Age the Veilguard, which, by the way, Endymion, my brother, I don't know how or why you went about platinuming this game. I didn't realize you had that level of, like, just you must be into pain at this point. That's the only explanation that I have for the fact that you platinum Dragon Age the Veilguard, but that's neither here nor there. After his over 100-hour playthrough, or whatever the number was, apparently it's come to his understanding that they just flat out hate white people.
Is this what racism feels like? Am I being racismed?
Now, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I, too, have played Dragon Age the Veilguard. Now, granted, I haven't platinumed it. I haven't played 100 hours of it, nowhere close. But I do realize exactly what Endymion is talking about. I've even made these jokes while playing the game, because while you're playing the game, it's kind of hard to miss it, right? It's kind of hard to not see the message all over the wall when you're playing Dragon Age the Veilguard. And one of those messages is, it's damn near impossible for anybody who's not white in order to be a villain. It's damn near impossible, right? Like, everybody who's non-white has to be good or at least neutral, and everybody who's white is the only one that is capable of being evil. So let's get into this article, guys, from Phantom Pulse. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Dragon Age the Veilguard gets accused of hating white people openly, and this is coming from YouTuber Endymion, who made the accusations after not only completing the game, but platinuming the game as well. Again, the fact that you platinum the game, Endymion, that is absolutely psychopathic behavior, and I think we need to get him checked. I really do. In a recent video upload, he stated the following: everything in Veilguard is gay, trans, and hates white men exclusively. I've said this before, but it's unfortunately true. Now, this is absolutely the case, okay? Everything is 100% gay, everything is 100% trans, and yes, they do hate white men very clearly. It's obvious when you're playing the game, and the people who are like, oh, that's not true, let it be known they're absolutely lying, because it is true. He explained every single villain in this game is either a white man or a woman. They also make every faction be led by either a woman, like in the case of the Grey Wardens, or the Antivan Crows, which are led by a black elf woman and some other guy. But by the way, no single faction in this game is ran by a single man, and especially not a single white man either. The Shadow Dragons are led by a man and a trans man. The Veil Jumpers are led by an Asian and a black elf. By the way, the Asian elf who leads the Veil Jumpers was previously in a relationship with Balara, your companion, and the black elf, whose name is Strife. If you don't romance Emmerich in Necromancer, Strife and Emmerich end up being in a relationship as well. So the Veil Jumpers leaders are not only very diverse, but they're both very gay as well. The Morn Watch is led by a brown woman and a Shadow Ghost apparition thing. He then reiterated that, like I said, none of the factions are led by white men at all. Everything is either gay-coded or female-led. The Grey Wardens are led by a heterosexual couple, but when you look at them, come on, it's ridiculous. It's a dwarf woman and a French accent elf guy who looks like he came out of the movie Ratatouille. Then these two do not scream Grey Wardens at all. They look like children. Like I said, the entire game is like this. Now, again, I remember this character, okay, the French elf, and I make fun of it because I'm like, where the hell did the French elf come from? But yes, even looking at this particular couple of the French elf and his dwarf companion, when you look at them together, you can't help but feel like it's gay. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Even though you're watching a straight scene play out in front of your eyes, you still feel like it's gay. That's how soy-filled and that's how gay-coded the game actually is, that even the straight romances feel like they're gay. Like, you feel I don't even know how to explain it. It's just the way it is. He then referenced another part of the game. White men are always the bad guy, like in Treviso, where the Antivan Crows reside. There's a traitor that is kind of hinted at early on in the story that is working with the Atam Kunari to, place the power of the Kunari over the city, and it's so obvious it's the governor. And surprise, it is exactly him. And of course, when you look at him, what is he? Of course he's a white man. And of course you kill him in combat during the Treviso Final Faction mission. And everyone basically says, oh, that guy sucks, and we're glad he's dead. Like I said, this entire game, I kid you not, hates white people openly. It's disgusting. It's so obviously done on purpose, he declared. Now listen, At the end of the day, I don't really think this shocks anybody because look who makes the game, right? These people hate white people, and the funny thing is, most of the people who made this game are white people, right? That's the ironic thing. It's always the one that look like them that virtue signal against them. Why is that? Who really knows? It's a lot of self-hate. It's weird, right? They grew up in these universities that taught them to hate their own race and to hate their own people, and then they pass that off in the video games that they make after they got their gender studies degree. So it really is one of those things where you really can't try to convince these people otherwise. They are truly believing in their mind that they are the oppressors. This is actually some of the most racist stuff that you're ever going to witness, and that's the hilarious thing about all this. The ones who claim to be fighting against racism are the ones who are the most racist out of everybody. They truly believe that they're above everybody else. They truly believe that they have been born with some privilege due to the colors of their skin. So ultimately, you sit there and you wonder, who's actually the racist? Who's actually your enemy here? And then when you really think about it, you realize, oh, it's the person trying to pretend to be on the side of the non-white people. It's the ones that are trying to say that, oh, they're going to pass off the microphone to the non-white people so that they can get a turn. Like, who the hell gave you the microphone in the first place? Then it says that still later in the video, Endymion reiterated the following: every faction is led by trans or gay people, and every bad guy is a white man or a woman. Even Nev Gallus's story, she fights a woman named Elio. Gee, I wonder what she is. Oh, that's right, she's also a white woman, because of course she is. He then pointed out the game's agenda again. The problem is that they go out of their way to ensure that everything is as diverse as possible while ensuring that the villainous traits are only coded single-handedly into white men and white women exclusively. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think this is the first game that we've seen do this, right? Like, there's a lot of video games, especially made by extremely woke developers, that do this. They try to make non-white people seem like it's impossible for them to be evil or do anything bad, and they want to make their villain white. It's just such a trope at this point. And you know what? It happens in Hollywood, too. Hollywood does the same exact thing for their TV shows and their movies, where they try to make the villains into white people, and then they end up making all the heroes into black people. Just look at Robin Hood, for example. Robin Hood was a prime example of literally that, when you saw everybody get race swapped who was good and everybody who was bad was just white cops, right? White cops keeping the man down in the hood. You know what I mean? It was the dumbest thing in the world, but that's what they do. So it's not shocking that they're doing it here in Dragon Age: The Veilguard. But let it be clear, ladies and gentlemen, this game is an absolute joke. We've been talking about this game for weeks now, and this is probably going to be the winding down of talking about this game, because there's really not much else I can say that you don't already know. I've reported every single detail about this game and where it's been, where it's going, how it's doing. Like, I reported every single thing about this game. But I think at this point, we should all just sit here and accept that Dragon Age is dead as a franchise. It's long and gone, and a lot of people have woken up to the nonsense that they are doing. And thankfully, we do have Dragon Age: The Veilguard to thank for that. If there's one good thing that came out of this video game, it's the fact that it woke up a lot of people. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.